This session we are going to see about control statements in PHP. Control structures are normally divided into three categories. Number one, conditional control structures. Number two, iteration or loop control structures. Number three, jump statements. Conditional control structures. This structure contains one or more conditional expressions. Based on the result, the code associated with it will be executed or skipped. It evaluates the conditional expressions and is found to be true, then the next block of statements to be executed. Otherwise, the statement after the block will be executed. PHP supports the following control structures: if control structure, if else control structure, else if control structure, switch control structure. If statement. It executes a block of statements only if the condition is true. The syntax for if statement is if followed by condition, and then the code to be executed, which will be available in a curly brackets. In this example, it is going to check whether the given t value is less than 20. If it is less than 20, it has to print have a good day. Another type of control structure is if-else statement. This statement executes if the condition is true, the statements associated with the if block will be executed. Otherwise, it will be skipped and the statements associated with the else block will be executed. The syntax for this type is if followed by condition and the block of code to be executed when the condition is true, else the next block of code to be executed if the condition is false. In this example, it is going to check the value of t. If it is less than 20, it has to print have a good day. Otherwise, it has to print the message good night. In another example, it is going to find whether the number is even number or odd number. So it has to check the number divided by 2, that the remainder is 0, then the given number is even number, otherwise the number is odd number. Another type of control structure is else if control structure. It is a conditional control structure which is used when we want to verify more than one condition. The conditional expression is evaluated first, and if returns true, the statement associated with the if block will be executed. Otherwise, the control will be transferred to the next else if statement and the conditional expression 2 will be executed. Otherwise, the control will be transferred to the next else if statement. This will continue until conditional expression evaluates to true. Otherwise, the control will be transferred to the next statement after the if-else statement. The syntax, there are two different types of syntax. One having if, else if, and then else part alone. Another one if, else if without else part. So we can use any one of these expressions for evaluating the given problem. In this example, we are going to verify the mark of the student. If the mark scores above 90, it has to print excellent, or between 75 and 90, very good, and the mark between 50 and 75, it has to print good, and the mark between 40 and 50, it has to print fair. The same will be written in both type of syntax, where in the first one it avoids else part, in the second one it has to print the performance of the student. Another last one is switch control structure. The switch statement is used to perform different actions based on different conditions. Use the switch statement to select one of many blocks of code to be executed. In a switch control structure, the flow of execution is controlled by the value of the variable or expression. In the same switch body, two case constants cannot have identical values. The case constant values are case sensitive. So this is the syntax for switch control structure: switch followed by expression, and you can have any number of cases, case followed by label 1 and then block of code to be executed, and every case should be terminated with the statement break. So the expression is evaluated only once. The value of the expression is compared with the value of each case. If there is a match, associated block of code will be executed. The break keyword breakout of switch block the default code block is executed if there is no match. So here in this example, it accepts the favorite color, and it has to check the color of the favorite color against the cases. If there is a match, it has to print the corresponding favorite color, otherwise default block will be executed. In the first example, the value is blue, so the case second case can have the option blue, so automatically it has to print the value your favorite color is blue. So another one is grade, so where it has to verify the grade with cases. So first case match the value, so automatically it print the corresponding print statement excellent. So another case, another part, you can have a small a, that is it has to verify whether the user has to give the small a or uppercase a. So case sensitive, so automatically the second case will be executed, the corresponding messages lower a will be printed. So another example, here we can have the value as number, day 1 has number 4, so it has to verify the number 4 against all the cases. So case 4 is available, so automatically it print the value Thursday, but where break is missing, so automatically next case will be continued. So break is must for every case. And another one is floating value is 98, Fahrenheit value is 98.5. So if the value is 98.5, then it has to print the corresponding message, where here also there is no break, so automatically next block of code which will be available in the next case will be executed. So break is must in this example. Next topic is loop control structure. This is used to repeat a particular block of code for a certain number of times. In PHP, the loop statements are used to repeat a particular set of instructions until the termination condition is true. If the condition is false, the loop ends and the control is transferred to the next statement immediately after the loop. The loop structure consists of three expressions: initialization, condition, and increment or decrement. The initialization expression executes only once at the start of the loop. It is used to send the initial value of the loop control variable. The condition expression is evaluated every time before the execution of the body of the loop. If the condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed, otherwise it will be skipped and the control will be transferred to the next instruction after the loop. The increment or decrement expression updates the loop control variable. This is always executed after the statement in the body of the loop has been executed. There are different types of iteration or loop control structures. They are while loop, do while loop, for each loop. So the syntax for all the four loop control structures, where the first one is while, the syntax is while followed by condition, and if the condition is true, then the statements within the while loop will be executed, where you have to include increment and decrement part within the loop itself. Another for, you can have an initialization part and followed by condition, and next part is increment or decrement. So the initialization will be done at the beginning and the condition is evaluated each time, and similarly increment decrement will be executed each iteration. The statements it is to be repeated will be available within the curly parenthesis. Another do while, so initialization and then followed by do, the statements to be executed in each iteration will be available in the curly parenthesis. After that, you'll be having increment or decrement part. Finally, you are going to check the condition. So at least one time, if the condition is false, then it at least one time the statements within the do loop will be executed. Another one is for each. It is specifically used for array variable alone. So it has to iterate every element in the array till the entire elements in the array is over. And the statements within the for each loop will be executed till the entire elements in the array is over. So the example, in the first example, all the example it has to print the value from 1 to 5. In a while loop, we are initializing 1 with the outer loop, and then we are going to check whether the condition below 5 by using $i less than 6. So if it is less than 6, till less than 6, it has to print the value. So likewise, it has to print 1 to 5. Similarly, do while, the same thing will be written using do while loop. Same part, initialization will be outer the do loop, and then within the do loop you are going to print the value, and increment part, in the while part we are going to verify the condition. And in the for loop we are going to have a 3 in the initialization and condition, and increment decrement portion will be in the same line, and within the body of the loop we are going to print the value of I. Similarly, for each, we are having an array, so we are going to initialize the array, or we are going to accept an array, and till the entire elements are over, the value will be printed. Okay, last one is jump statement. It is used to skip a part of the loop or other statement and transfer the control to another statement. When a jump statement is encountered within a block, it transfers the control unconditionally to some other part in a program. There are 4 types of jump statement: break, continue, go to, return. So break statement, it skips the nearest enclosing loop control structure such as for each, while, do while, and switch control structures. Whenever the statement is encountered within the body of the loop or switch, the body of the statement terminates and the control is transferred to the next immediate statement after the switch or loop control structure. And continue, it transfer the control back to the top of the current loop for the next iteration. This statement, when this statement is encountered inside the block of code, it will skip the remaining part of a particular block. Go to, this statement allows the program control to jump unconditionally to another part of the program which is associated with the named label. So label is an identifier followed by a colon. It is must in a go to statement. Return, the return statement terminates the execution of a function and the control returns to the calling function. The execution begins from the statement which immediately follows the call in the calling function. So the example for break statement, in this example, when it encounters the value, when it encounters the 5, automatically it will come out from this loop. So it has to print 1, 2, 3, 4 alone. And for continue, so when it encounters the I value is 5, it skips the current iteration and it goes to the next iteration. So this is going to print the value from 1 to 10 except 5. Another one is go to. So go to, you must have a one label stop, label stop with the statement. So when it encounters the value 5, it will come out from this loop, and control will be transferred to the label named stop. So automatically it print the value label encountered. Another one is return statement, which is normally used within the function. So this function is going to accept 2 value, and after evaluating the summation of x and y, it has to print return the value result of value to the calling function. So for the first one, sum of 5, 10, it prints 15. Similarly, for the second call, it prints the value 6. So another example, which is going to print the 0, 0, 0, 1, etc. up to 99 by using nested for loop. And the first for loop is going to print the value of 0 to 9, and from in 0 it has to repeat the iteration from 0 to 9 till it continue 100 times. So this example, the same example, we can use this except number 5. So we are going to skip 5. When it encounters 5, continue 2. Similarly, for the second one, it has to break. So with the help of continue and how we are going to use the continue and break in the nested for loop. This example exhibits the usage of continue and break in the nested for loop. Similarly, this example is also going to show the continue and break, how to use continue and break in the nested for loop by skipping 5. And there is an alternate syntax for control structures which will be available in PHP for if, else, if, for each, while, and switch. So the alternate syntax if and same condition or expression followed by statements, but instead of curly parenthesis, here we are having a end if statement. So end if is a terminator for this if control structures. Likewise, if else if, here also instead of curly parenthesis, we are having end if statement. If else, here also we are having end if for marking the end of the if structure. Switch case, similarly instead of curly parenthesis we are having end switch. So all the expressions are evaluated only once. Based on the expression, the statement following the if will be executed or else part will be executed. Similarly for switch case, if the value matches any of the cases, automatically the statement within the case block will be executed. And similarly, we are having a alternate syntax for while, for each, for instead of curly parenthesis, we are having end while and while followed by condition, and that will be terminated with colon. Similarly, for you are having colon and also end for each. Here also you are having that line will be ended with colon and terminated with end for each. So the same example we are going to write by using this for loop state, end if statement. Another example is going to the same previous example we are using for each, end for each syntax. So these are all some of the exercises you are going to try to practice PHP programs. Thank you.